Questions. What do we go do? We got Damontae and we got Malik Hooker coming in. What we go do? Well, Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matter. We getting ready to find out. Well, it's questions going on with the Cowboy fan base on what we're getting ready to do for safety. Safety been a position that a lot of people would call a deficit for a while. So you got a lot of reaching that's going on and a lot of questions. And so we actually already did breakdowns on Boss Cowboy Sports on both these guys, but this time we're going to do more of a comparison. So we're going to look at Malik Hooker versus Damontae and stay to the end of the video to get the ultimate answer on which one, because this one is actually not easy. So let's kind of start with the popular guy, and that would be obviously Malik Hooker. And him and Damontae are similar from the standpoint of both of those guys have really, really good ball skills. So I'm going to turn off the tape real quick of Malik and then just go to Damontae real quick, and you'll see the same things. Where when you're looking at Damontae, you'll see same similar skill set, where you'll see a guy that's very opportunistic when it comes down to being able to get his hands on the ball. So both of those guys are, I would say, very much the same when it comes down to their having great hands and ball awareness. The difference is, if you go look at Malik and then we fast forward some to where we can look at his tackling, you'll see with Malik a really solid tackler. So a much better tackler than what you would see with Damontae Kazee. So I mean, both of those guys get you on the ground. Like, this is one of my favorite plays where he has Thielen in open field, and he has one of the best angles you're going to ever see from coming from, oh no, this is the other play, I'm sorry, where he just makes a solid tackle with Cook coming streamlining right at him. Damontae is not quite that. So Damontae, he is not quite the tackler. So if we take a look at his tackling, you'll see a major difference between him and Malik Hooker is their willingness to be able to stop a offensive player in their tracks just because of the physical gifts. He does not have the physical gifts. He just doesn't have it. Now, he has the courage, he has the heart, he willing, but he just doesn't have the physical gifts to really stop the offensive players in their tracks, especially when they're streaming right at you. So we did some pros and cons between both of the guys, and boom, you see he loves to go at ankles. That's one thing you're going to see consistently out of Damontae Kazee. He's going to get the guys on the ground, but it's a lot different than Malik Hooker. It's a lot different, where you're going to see just over and over and over him going at a guy's ankles. And here's another play, same game, where you can see it's a pattern of him, and it's what he does. And the film doesn't lie if you watch it. If you just go watch it, and instead of just going with names and opinions, it's always good to go really get your own eyes on a particular candidate to determine what is it true what they're saying about a guy at a particular point in time. And so it's just quite obvious that when you're dealing with Damontae, you're dealing with a guy that's willing, but again, the pattern is the same, to where he's going at ankles, and it's not going to stop. He's going to continue to do that. So my question, I said I was going to answer the question, which one, since they're coming in to visit the Dallas Cowboys, which one do you go with? Well, my answer is simple. My answer is actually neither, because I don't understand why in the world the Dallas Cowboys are bringing in people with injury histories, because both of them have now some injuries that they're overcoming, versus there are guys that's out there that, like Trey Boston right here, who go give you 15 to 16 games a year, go give you 3 interceptions per year, go have a very cheap price. Why in the world? I don't get. It's almost like I said like this. If you go in the shop, right, and you know it's a tax special or Black Friday sale, you are an absolute nut to go in there and spend only 5 minutes shopping It makes no sense at all, especially when you look at people like Anthony Harris that went to Philadelphia for $5 million. I was on the show with Big Game James the other day, and we was just talking about the days of buying expensive brand shoes, and we both came to the conclusion that if you purchase Jordans or Jordans go on sale for $100 back in the day, that automatically meant the Pippins was getting ready to be $80. It was automatically because the brand of Jordan was bigger. You don't have Anthony Harris sitting out there go for $5 million and then get in a panic and get in a rush and say, hey, let's go with the guy with the longest injury history safety, and let's go with a 174-pound other safety as if that's our only options. That's what's super bothering me right now with the Cowboys PR about the guys that they're bringing in. It's like, I'm glad you're bringing in guys, but why bring in guys as if these are the only people you're gonna be able to shop for? Like, we have Gibson here, like we was talking about. Then we also brought up Duron Herman. As you can see, he's older, but there is no major injury histories with him. And then you see he has the courage to take on people like Henry head up. He has great ball skills and he high points the ball well. And, you know, these are all guys that's in the Boss Cowboy God. And I'm like, why in the world would we not take looks at these guys? You also have Josh Jones, who was formerly with the Dallas Cowboys, who runs a 4.41 official, 6'2", 220 pounds. No injuries, no surgeries. These guys are fresh out the box. So yeah, that's my answer. Neither. Keep shopping. Like, because you already know, if you bring in, let's just be all the way honest, if you bring in Malik, okay, and you bring him all the way in and you say, we finna give this guy a chance, right? So we already talked about his pros. You can't bring in somebody with the massive injury history of Malik Hooker and not have to double up again. You're going to have to double up just on insurance. That's why I called him similar to Sean Lee. We had to get LVE because it was obvious during the history of watching Sean Lee that he was a great player when he could play, but you had to have insurance. That has never stopped. So to bring in Damontae and Malik Hooker, I just hope and pray that y'all keep shopping. It doesn't mean that they're bad picks, but it's like if you go with those guys, that means you got to keep shopping for safety. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, we went ahead and went with Xavier Woods, because that's what it's setting it up to be. Because I see the pattern of the Dallas Cowboys, and it's starting to become very obvious. You brought in Josh Jones before. You let him go, and it really wasn't no clear competition. You didn't even allow it to be. You brought in George Aloka, and then all of a sudden, he wasn't getting any snaps, and he was being treated like he never started in the NFL. You let him go. Then you do the same thing with Clinton Dix. So it's like, I don't trust the pattern of what's going on with safety. It just seems too heavy-handed. It's like we bringing in guys that are not real competition so that you can go ahead and anoint the guy you really want. And that's likely going to be Xavier Woods. I hope I'm wrong on that. I super hope that I'm dead wrong on that. But this doesn't have the taste of sincere shopping. It's Black Friday, meaning COVID is hitting teams hard. That's why you have steals like Anthony Harris going for $5 million. But why would you spend all this time waiting in line to get a super deal in Black Friday sales and then just walk out in the first 5 minutes? No, like, I know it's a sale, so shop. We don't want to hear, I just say it like this. Boss Cowboy don't want to hear, well, we brought in Damontae. Well, we brought in Malik. We really gave it a shot. Well, I guess we had to go with our guy. No, not when you got real, just low tread, tired dogs that's sitting out there that are obvious upgrades or contributors to the Dallas Cowboys. So, yeah, my answer right now is neither. I don't want us to go with Malik Hooker alone or Damontae alone. If you go with those guys, you still need to keep shopping because you're going to need certainty back there. certainty back there in the back end. And I don't see us doing it. And we stay loyal on Boss Cowboy Sports, so just stay with us. You go continue to hear content like this, and we go break it down by the film. All 22. That's just what we do. Just so you can also put your eyes on it. You don't have to take our word for it. Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matter.